everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 722. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I am Mako-chan.
Ari is off tonight. He is taking a mental health break, and we'll get into that in just a bit. Let's take care of some other stuff real quick here. Mako-chan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm really freaking tired.
For a second there, you can say I'm really freaking hyper.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and...
Sorry.
Hyper is definitely not something I would use to describe myself right now.
Fair enough.
I'm very sleep deprived.
How are you sleep deprived?
Because I was up until after 2 a.m. last night.
Do I even want to know why?
I plead the fifth.
Oh, God.
What? I was really into the story I was reading. Shut up.
Do you plead the fifth or you plead the fifth?
Well, I plead a fifth, but...
Oh, God. Okay, that's it. No more supernatural fan fiction for you.
It wasn't supernatural. Haha.
Harry Potter.
Nope.
Tenchi Muyo.
No.
Generic yaoi slash.
No. Actually, it was Naruto.
Oh, Jesus. Did you must have had a Kakashi fever dream.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Oh, God, you're terrible.
But it's not my fault that I just with everything else in life, I get super into one particular genre or fandom or something like that, and then I just read from the beginning until the end. The fact that I did not read in 2 years half of the fan fiction available for the pairing that I am into in the supernatural fandom tells you just how much damn fan fiction is out there for that particular pairing.
Uh-huh. Fair enough.
And it's only the third most popular pairing, so...
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Calliope was also up late reading fan fiction. The both of you need Jesus.
What? Some people are really, really good authors.
Oh no, I get
fan
that.
Fiction.
No, I get that. Back in the day, I could probably still find it. There was this Ranma one half fan fiction that I had read where basically North and South Korea go to war and Japan gets involved, and basically all of the guys from Ranma one half get enlisted into the war. It was quite an interesting read, and it is a follow-up where they're undercover agents trying to help them out. It was a good read, and I have to admit, I have gone back and I have read that at least more than once. At least more than 3 times. I think it's called Ranma one half Chasing the Wind.
There are a couple of stories that I have bookmark, but not like just in the generic bookmarks. I have them listed because I read them at least, every so often, every couple of months, just because they're that good. And sometimes you just need to read something that you're into, you like, even if you've read it before, just because it's that damn good.
No, I get that. And in my neck of the woods, I am doing all right. I can't complain too much, but it'd be like that. So, anyway, let's get the formalities over with, shall we? And before we continue, Serenity 1488 says Jesus cannot help them. And I have to agree with this. It's like that. It's like those memes where someone does something really sacrilegious. No, those videos where someone's doing something really sacrilegious and Jesus is watching them to see if they start laughing or something. It's like that. Anyway, we are live tonight, week of June 2nd, 2026, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You can always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. You can always check them out at Twitch TV/vognetwork. And please come hang out in our Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of Voice of Geeks Network has their own channel, so come through, hang out, and have a good time with us. So, and as we get along with that, we're going to go into how was your week and day. Now, before we get to that, I see a message here from Nemesis47. He basically says that he and Serenity came back from Colossal Con and says that PCP and meth with a party con don't mix after someone destroyed the bathrooms at the convention center. Well, yeah, I could have told you that mixing PCP and meth is basically stage 1 Florida Man. Does anybody not remember bath salts? I'm just saying, and I will say this. Me and Mako-chan have gone to conventions in the last 20 or so years, and we've done some silly, strange, outlandish, and stupid shit. But the difference is it was within our little circles, so only within those who were in the room knew what the fuck was going on, and we made sure that it never went out of the rooms, mostly. There are things that happened that kind of leaked out, but it was years ago, and everybody thought it was a good time. I'm just saying
This was before social media.
Yes.
So when it leaked out, it didn't, it created drama within the community, not outside of the community.
Right. It's like if you're a Gen Xer like me, you'll sometimes see these memes about, I'm glad I grew up in a time where social media wasn't a thing because of all the shit that would be out there, which is kind of true. There is nothing wrong with having a little party, imbibing, and having a good time at a convention, as long as it's in moderation. Even if it's considered a party convention, even if it's a con where people go just to party, you can do that. But all in moderation, because you don't want to do something so outlandish where you get banned from the convention, let alone the convention center. You know what I'm saying? So remember that. God, I remember a time where, people will hang out outside of the hotels, drink, and smoke a little. I mean, they do it now, but it used to be more often. You could find little social circles in front of the hotel bouncing around, and everybody was just completely chill. It wasn't anything chaotic. Yeah, you go back to the room, to somebody's room party, you have a good time. It was when, you didn't have to worry about security because the people in the room knew how to keep it to a dull roar. But, nowadays it's, yeah. Yes, and we know the guy tossed the whole sink and destroyed the bathroom. And Sandusky Police Department yeah, I heard about that. And they also said that they met Jeremy Lay, the new voice of Sailor Venus in the Sailor Moon dub of Viz. And I thought that was pretty cool. Bonzable 6 says he's scared to bunk at a con with more than 5 people. I want my con experience to be drama free. I have roomed with 5 people. And generally it's the same 5 people or 4 or 5 people in rotation that I know. So I'm not worried about that. I ain't got to do no background checks and shit, Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, Mako-chan, how was your weekend day?
Not as eventful as I was hoping it would be, but yeah, sometimes you just have to deal. So my allergies have been really bad.
Oof.
Woke up Friday with like a clogged head, clogged sinuses, didn't think anything of it. After a little while, everything went away.
That's good.
Woke up Saturday
Mm,
and I couldn't hear out of my right ear. Tried to, do everything I could to pop my ear. Ended up going to urgent care and was told that I have an inner ear infection. Um, was given antibiotics and steroids. Uh, my sinuses
mm.
were all, you know, swollen and everything, but at least I didn't have a sinus infection on top of everything. Um, so that was shit and made me miss out on going into the city.
Aw.
Um, then my tire was rubbing on my car.
Ooh.
So I have no idea what the hell is going on. Just all of a sudden I was driving and I could hear it rubbing. Not the brakes, just the tire.
Mm.
So my car is currently sitting up at the auto shop to be looked at tomorrow. So yeah, very eventful.
Mm.
I think the only thing that was somewhat positive is that I had my year at work for
Mm-hmm.
my new job.
That's good.
And then today I just got notice that because I've been there for a year, my pay was being adjusted. So, yay!
More money, more money, more money. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. All right. So my weekend day has been the usual. It has not been as chaotic because we don't have as many PC refreshes to do. But to continue off of what Mako-chan was saying about Saturday, two of our favorite people in the world, Rob and Alan, and those of you who listen to OLR know OLR Rob or Sky, him and his husband Alan, they were in town. Evidently, Rob was in town came in for an Ingress event, and they went to see Oh Mary, which is a musical play that I want to see, and they also saw the Rocky Horror Show. So I meet up with them, and we went out and had Korean barbecue. And it was great, and we had a good time. We ate, we dished, we teed. It was a good time. I found out that Alan now collects handbags,
Nice.
and Rob's like, I have no room to say anything because of my arcade machines. I'm just like, fair enough. So we kind of did a quick walk up and down Koreatown, and then we went our separate ways. I actually doubled back to Toes Lejo's to get a coffee and a pastry because I was like, I'm gonna feel a little tired after that eating, and I'm like, whenever I'm in the city around this area, I usually go to Dunkin', and I'm just like, you know what, I don't want to pay that high cost at Dunkin' because the Dunkins in Penn Station don't take the app. I'm just like, screw that. I'd rather give my money to somebody else. So I went over there, got myself a pistachio cream filled donut and a coffee, and I went about my way and came home. I finished up the photos from what is it event? Dream Asia Food Festival in February. Those photos, um, those will probably be going onto my personal page. So, because that wasn't really a con per se, I'll probably put them there. So I'm still trying to decide, and I'm probably going to put a few of them on my personal page because there were some great cosplay photos I took. So I might throw a sample up there and link y'all back to the actual album on Facebook. That's probably what's going to happen. So there is that, and also there is something I want to show off. So here's the thing. Now, we talked about this figure on an episode several weeks back. Mako, do you remember the free run Lika figures that we talked about?
Vaguely.
Big. Oh, I went out and got one.
Oh, nice.
What happened was my friend Lo was doing a thing for Cutco, and and we were talking, and she mentioned it. And I was like, "Oh, shit, I need to go order mine. Because when we first talked about this, I went online to Hot Topic. I think it was Hot Topic. They were completely sold out. So I was like, and I went looking on eBay, whatever, and they were like ridiculously priced. So they had them in stock, and I think I paid 40 with shipping for this. I think that was pretty good because Lo decided to make a mimic to go with hers. I was like, yeah, let me get mine. So that's going to go up on display once I figure out everything in the back here and put up that extra shelf. So there is all of that. That's you good there?
Yeah, as I said, allergies have been kicking my ass.
I think you need a purifier in there.
Um, I would have to shut the windows before the purifier would work.
I thought it would work even with it open.
It would be fighting too much. I would have to shut the windows for it really to purify. But it's just been so nice to have the windows open.
True. You could
I'm
always
just dealing.
oh, you could always throw an exhaust fan in the window.
I shouldn't have too much more with the actual pollen dropping down. Of course, this weekend it's supposed to be hot, so we'll see how long the windows actually stay open anyway.
Gotcha. Bonzo06 says your pay rate is getting adjusted. I heard that 7 times in 5 years at one job. I still wanted to quit that job until COVID-19 upended the world. I kind of feel that. One of the places I worked at before I was onboarded, evidently like a couple of months prior, because of inflation and everything, they gave everybody in the company, like they kicked up everybody's pay rates. And they said this does not go against your upcoming raise or whatever like that. So for some people, within a few months, they were getting a double raise. I thought that was kind of cool. So anyway. All right, now that we got that out the way, let's get into some housekeeping notes here. Just want to let y'all know that episodes of Anime Jam Session will be available on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Anime Jam Session. Episodes will be available Thursdays at 12 p.m. So that way you can kind of watch us, or you can have us playing in the background while you work and do other stuff. So definitely check that out, and thank you for the support. I actually updated our convention list, and I think I'm going to check out this one convention. It's called TinyCon. It's July 12th, 2026 at 125 Raritan Center Parkway, which I believe is a New Jersey Convention and Expo Center. It's a one-day thing, so I'm definitely going to check it out and see how it is and have a little bit of fun with that. And then I know that Saturday I will be day tripping to Kineticon, and I probably will be taking photos, and there are some celebs that I do want to see. So there is that. And also, I want to let everybody know a couple of things about June. Two very important things. Neither one of these is more important than the other. They get equal respect across the board. Number one, this is Pride Month. Happy Pride, everybody. And I just realized that I am not wearing my Pride shirt. So while Mako-chan takes the first story, I'm going to flip the camera off and change. Because as some of you may know or may not remember, during the month of Pride, I wear my Geeky Pride shirts. And I have 4 of them. So since there's 5 weeks in June, 5 Tuesdays, I'll either be rotating one, or if I'm lucky, I'll secure another one to wear across the board. We'll take care of that. And also, the second thing I want to tell you all about is June is National Men's Mental Health Month. Remember, November is Movember, which discusses awareness in regards of men's mental health. June is actually Men's Mental Health Month. And like I said, Ari took the night off, to kind of rest and recharge and kind of get back together. And I want to tell y'all something. There is no harm and there's no shame in taking a personal day from work or whatever just to hole yourself up in your room or whatever and just watch movies, anime, play video games, do whatever. Or, maybe talk to you, do something. There's nothing wrong with that. You got to always find your ways to kind of recharge and self care because that is very important. So, one thing that my mother once told me that one thing about self care is treating yourself to something every time you get paid, even if it's a pair of underwear. Funny as that may sound, that's something that you bought and is yours. And it does make sense. So remember, happy Pride, everybody, and a happy Men's National Health Month. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And since Mako-chan had a fever dream about Kakashi Sensei, she's going to tell us about Naruto.
It wasn't a fever dream. It was just, it happened to be a Kakashi centric fan fiction. Anyway, let me get over to that. So yeah, Naruto is going through its 25th anniversary. And while the anime has been in a sort of limbo, we all know that that's mainly because they are waiting for the next arc in the manga to be complete, before going ahead and, putting out the next series for Boruto. But yeah, so the 25th anniversary is fast approaching, and to get ready for that, there have been a couple of things in the works. So there is a new anime series starting in 2027. Most people are assuming that that is the next release for the Boruto anime. um, so that is um something to look forward to for those that are into Boruto. I as much as I'm reading into it and all of that, I can't get into Boruto.
Well, I was reading.
It's
I'm not.
so far-fetched at this point.
Well, I
It's
wasn't.
not even the same series.
Well, I wasn't reading it, but I was watching the spinoff, and I thought it was really good for what it was. And I'll admit, it kind of dragged at times, but I never finished it. Maybe before this new thing, the new thing starts up, I will finish watching the original episodes. At least now that it's dubbed, I can watch like the last 100 or so episodes dubbed, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, the ending of Naruto kind of went off a little bit, but Boruto is basically just dragging that ending along. They are currently on a 2-year time jump
Mm,
or a 3-year time jump in the Boruto series, just like they did in Naruto, in
mm-hmm.
order to age everybody into something, that they could, one, be somewhat of, an adult, at least an older teen, but also basically just to montage all of the training.
Yeah. Because we don't really need to do that. I mean, it's not like they're doing in Dragon Ball Z where the hyperbolic
Yeah,
time chamber was like 1 day equals a year.
yeah, yeah. Um, so I mean, that's what everybody is thinking that the quote unquote new series is going to be. Um, but there is also some speculation on what is going to be happening in that new series. It is like that
Mm-hmm.
because of the way that anime in general is changing. You're going from the Naruto series, which was, one episode and 6 seasons and, all of that stuff. But they were longer seasons. They were 26 episode
Yep.
seasons.
6 seasons in a movie.
Um, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
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 But the whole thing now is that most of these anime series are going for only 12 episode seasons,
Yeah.
if that. Um, so a lot of information has to be adjusted within the manga to anime ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but They are thinking because Studio Parrot is doing
Mm-hmm.
it, that it's going to switch over to something that might be a little bit more visually um pretty, kind of like how Bleach Thousand Year Blood War was done. Um so they're thinking that that might be why it's taking so long to put the next anime series out. There's also skepticism because there are episodes that were animated and scheduled for release from the original series that still have not been broadcast. Um, and these are 20th anniversary episodes that were put out. 4 episodes originally scheduled for release in September of 2023, but never broadcast.
Mm.
And there's no release window or anything like that. So there are some people that are hoping that something from those episodes will be out and about. The other thing is that it was confirmed that the franchise will be receiving video games developed by new partners.
Okay.
So, just thinking about the different types of games that are out there now,
Mostly
instead of
fighting
just
games.
yeah, but I'm thinking like maybe instead of just a specific, we're gonna do everybody is able to get into this melee kind of fighting. I'd almost like to see something that's just 4 players,
Yeah.
like Ninja Turtles used to be,
Oh
side scroll.
yes, like an arc. Yeah. Okay, I can see some.
Something like that with Team 7 or, with Boruto's team. Um, Something like that to bring everything into a new look and feel in a video game, I think would be really cool.
Hmm. I'm
Um,
thinking like I like to see like an action RPG where you're basically going through the different missions from the anime.
that would be cool
And they
too.
just kind of expand on it a little bit or to make for it to make sense. That I'd like to see. But when you said Turtles, I could see Konami pulling out the TMNT engine and doing a Naruto arcade game, like but I'm thinking if not 4 player, like a 6 player machine, like X-Men. And then they each
Mhm.
have like their chakra specials, and it's like the kunais represents how much chakra that they have to do their specials. I could see something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of options out there to make a unique game in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't just your typical fighting game. Not that the fighting games aren't great, but there are already fighting games for
Right.
Naruto.
Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but just want to see more. I know there's a tactical RPG on, I think, Game Boy Advance, I believe. I know I saw something like that. Yes, we had like good 2D fighters on PlayStation, and then we got the arena fighters on GameCube, and then we got interesting fighters on Xbox. I mean, how about, like I said, action RPG where you play as the young Naruto, or you get to create your own ninja? You pick a team to be a part of, and you just do different missions and just build up experience and so forth, you know?
Something like
Yeah.
that would be cool too, that
Mm-hmm.
you create yourself as a ninja. You
Right.
create your own ninja character and are able to take, all these different powers that you could potentially add on to yourself.
Yeah. And here's a bit of a always live aspect to the game. And I know everyone hates always live type games. What I'm saying is you still play the game offline, but it's sort of like an online mode where you go to like the mission board or something like that. You connect online to the mission board. There are these random missions that you can do and then just do them, you know? That would be
Mhm.
kind of cool. I would love if Borderlands had something like that because they have mission boards. Go online, check the mission boards, go do, that would be kind of cool. But then
Yeah.
again, the leveling is capped at 72, so it's kind of but whatever.
Mm. But yeah, and it's not surprising that TV Tokyo is
Hmm.
looking to push this right now. It was stated that the Naruto franchise was the broadcaster's biggest moneymaker for the
Hmm.
financial year ending March 2026.
Oh, there you go.
This beat out Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! This is all driven by royalties generated from the games, merchandise, and streaming rights. So right now, TV Tokyo is making bank on Naruto,
Hmm.
so it makes sense for them to, you know, put back into the same series. But we'll see what's going on. We do have a little while longer for the actual 25th anniversary um, of the anime itself. But, with all of these things in the works, we'll see what we can actually get out of it.
Sounds like a plan. I like that. To go back to weekend date, I completely forgot. I just finished season 3 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and to go back to what Mako-chan was saying about 12 episodes and so forth. Again, I like the fact that new anime is like 12 episodes, 13, 14. That way it makes it easier for me to play catch up. I can sit there and watch the entire season within a week or two, or way I watch sometimes 3 days, give or take. And I like that. The only downside is there's so many on my list. I don't know if I'll get through all of them since I just added 3 titles like before the show started. But when it's short like that, you don't have to worry about filler episodes or anything like that. I think that if you can do a whole arc in 12 episodes, fine. If you can't, properly split it up and just keep it going, you know? So I think with Jujutsu Kaisen, the culling game, that was like 12 episodes. Part 2 is going to be the other half of it. That's probably going to be another 12 episodes. And I'm good for that. I'm good. And
Yeah,
now,
I think it
mm-hmm,
all really depends on the manga that they are
mm-hmm,
translating
yeah.
from. Some manga have very distinct spots and arcs that you can, really count down into. And the lead up to those arcs. And I'm going to put this out there, One Piece.
Ugh.
There is so much extra that, yes, it's good to have, but it really could be an omake. Um, and it's not needed necessarily in the anime. And even with Naruto, there are a couple of episodes that were omake
Mm-hmm.
in the manga that they created into episodes because those particular characters happen to be very popular characters.
Which,
I.e., when Kakashi helps his team to try and find out what he looks like under his
oh,
mask,
yes, that I
even
remember
though
that.
it's him without a mask helping them to find out what he looks like under his mask. That whole thing was an omaki in the manga. It was just, a short little blurb that because it's Kakashi and everybody asks about what's under his mask,
Mm,
they created an entire episode that was not needed.
which is,
I'm happy for the episode. It's a really funny episode. I can see why they made it into an episode. But again, that's when series were 26 episode
mm-hmm.
seasons, sometimes longer in those seasons
See, this
just
is,
to, have it.
yeah, this is why I'm okay with that, you know? At least, you can get better character development, or within these episodes, the author can come in and be like, do a little bit extra to kind of develop the characters a little bit more where needed. So that works for me. So if you don't
Yeah, to
mind, I
give a
was,
little
yeah.
bit of originality
Mm-hmm.
between the two different
Yeah.
medias.
All right. So we're going to get into our next story here. About, I actually closed that window out. Whoops. We're going to talk about Pokemon. And coming around the heels of another anniversary, Pokemon is about to celebrate its 30th anniversary. I think that's hella awesome. So this is going to be happening next year because it seems that the Pokemon Company is working on an ambitious new attraction that will blur the line between fiction and reality. Oh snap! As per Automaton Media, Canadian multimedia studio Moment Factory just announced a long-term partnership with the real estate group Mitsui Fudosan. As part of this collab, the Pokemon TPCI, the Pokemon Company International, is partnering with the two companies, Mitsui Fudosan and Moment Factory, to develop an immersive Pokemon themed event with interactive technology and innovative storytelling. It'd be kind of cool as a story about you becoming a trainer or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. On its official website at momentfactory.com/pages/about, they specialize in the creation, design, and production of immersive environments. Additionally, the company is known for its foray into AR experiences that turn large spaces into interactive gaming environments. Now you got me thinking of the holodeck. That's kind of cool. TTP when, but anywho. There's not many details about the Pokemon attraction that we know of, but it's going to most likely involve participants exploring an area with different types of Pokemon that can be interacted with in various ways. So maybe it's sort of like AR Pokemon Go in a way. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would definitely be cool.
Mitsui Fudosan is one of Japan's largest real estate companies. They manage residential properties as well as hotels, resorts, arenas, and stadiums. The group has a large-scale international reach where they operate in North America, India, Australia, Southeast Asia, China, and Europe, as well as other regions. Hell, I just recently found out like the chain of APA hotels in Japan, they actually have a hotel in Woodbridge, New Jersey. I was like, wow. I would expect other locations, but that works. Pokemon's upcoming attraction is scheduled to debut in Europe in spring of next year before traveling to other select locations around the globe. Notably, these two companies have collaborated in the past. To commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Kyoto Botanical Gardens, both groups partnered to create Light Cycles, an event that combined dynamic illumination and sound design to enhance the area's natural beauty for visitors. This version of visually immersive Night Walk opened in April 2025, and it stayed open until March of last year. Other variants of Light Cycles have been hosted in Adelaide, Australia, and St. Louis, Missouri. That's really cool. For Moment Factory co-founder and CIO Dominic O'Day, his group collaboration with Mitsui Fudosan marks a critical evolution towards the fulfillment of his creative ideas. This partnership is more than a collaboration. It is a synergy of vision, they stated. We are looking to set a new global standard for how people interact with brands and environments. So they're saying to all these interactive places and company stuff, hold my sake. Pokemon's global domination has hardly waned since the release of Red and Blue in 90s. Holy crap, 30 years! God, we're old. The series' latest mainline installments, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, have collectively sold over 28 million units worldwide. And by the way, Mako, have you finished your copy of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
Scarlet and Violet?
Mm-hmm. Or Violet.
Yes.
I don't know which one you have. Oh, okay. And how far have you gotten into Pokopia?
Well, Pokopia is a cozy game.
Mm-hmm.
But still at the same time, I have opened up all of the different areas. I'm just trying to get the last area established so that I can start working on getting all of the levels up to at least 5 each.
Gotcha. And that game has sold 4 million copies since it came out in March. From a video game, anime, and manga, merchandise, and trading card game sales, the franchise rakes in about $10 to $12 billion annually. No thanks to those damn scalpers.
Mm-hmm.
Making it the world's highest grossing multimedia entity of all time. Suck it, One Piece. According to Andy Goes, the head of media production at TPCI, Pokemon's latest collaborative venture is a major highlight among the many 30th anniversary initiatives the company has in the work. Ooh, snap. Pokemon fans around the world are always eager to experience the world of Pokemon in a new and meaningful way. We are excited to see the joy it'll bring to trainers and the passion and adventure that unites the community. All right, now. I may have to participate in this. All right, now we're going to kick it over to Mako-chan where she's going to talk about old school magical girls, Minky Momo.
Yeah, so I know that we have talked a little bit about uh the whole Minky Momo um coming back as a re-release.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like the official website for the series stated that the new OVA for Fairy Princess Minky Momo announced that they're going to be actually opening in Japanese theaters on November 13th. Um, the production marks the first Minky Momo anime in 32 years since the release of the OVA Minky Momo in the Station of Your Memories in 1994. And was conceived to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the production company of the series, Ashi Productions. Also, May 30th is Minky Momo's birthday.
Hey, happy
And
belated
to
birthday.
commemorate such a special day, Kunihiko Yuyama, who served as the general director for the two TV series in the past, released a comment stating, "Happy birthday to Momo. Minky Momo comes back when you least expect it. When everyone's dreams and hopes are about to fade away, I'm looking forward to um, Akogara no Yume e Magokoro no Duo," which is what the new series is being called, toward a dream of longing and a sincere duo. Additionally, social media participation projects will be held where fan art will be featured in the theatrical pamphlet. And you can participate by following the official Twitter account at MinkyMomo_AP
Cool.
between May 30th and June 24th, and post your illustration using the hashtag, and it's all in uh, kanji, so I can't even give you the romanji for it. And after posting, you submit your work via a form. And it looks like it is a Google sign-in form.
That sounds
But
kind of
yeah,
normal.
yeah, selected works will be featured in the pamphlet following a strict selection process by the director and the management team. So this new one is being done by the chief director. Chief director and writer of Comey Can't Communicate.
Ooh.
So you're looking at definitely an updated animation style from the 1994 series, and maybe a more modern storyline as well. But yeah, so there's a good chance that because this is being released in Japan, that if it's popular enough there, we could see a 1 or 2 day transfer of that series over to US theaters.
And this is the part where we all take that odd look at Crunchyroll and Sony because they tend to do stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And since they own Alamo Draft House, just saying. All right. So our next story is Yuri on Ice. Or as I like to call it, the time when the ladies get their 15 minutes of sexiness. Well, that and free Iwatobi Swim Club. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, if us guys can have big bouncy girls looking all hot and all that for us to drool over, the ladies can have their cheese, their beefcake as well. It's only fair.
It is fair. As long as things are kept fair, that's all I care about.
Exactly. All right, hold on one second. I actually sent a friend of mine the wrong PowerPoint presentation. Whoops. But
Oops.
yeah. A friend of mine's big into Minky Momo, so I sent her the link. And I was like, oh, that's right. She asked me about Japan. Let me send her the presentation. Yeah, I sent her the wrong freaking one. My bad. But anyway, we're going to talk about Yuri on Ice. The anime is celebrating its 10th anniversary, and there is a new visual that's available. The website just got a brand new makeover to celebrate this. And on this, they reveal a special visual illustration created by character designer Tadashi Hiramatsu that will feature on the jacket of a brand new Blu-ray CD box set. There are plans of a major exhibition event to be held this winter, which is also confirmed. And I'm kind of curious as to where it's going to be, because when I went to Japan back in 2023, I went to the Bandai Namco Cross Store in Ikebukuro, and I stumbled into the Cowboy Bebop exhibition, which was cool. I wish I had bought a couple of things from there, but oh well. The original TV series, aired from October 6th to December 22nd in 2016. Sayo Yamamoto directed and wrote the series at MAPPA, with Matsuro Kubo writing the scripts. Tadashi Hiramatsu did the character designs. Taro Umabashi and Taku Matsushiba did the music, and Kenji Miyamoto did the choreographing for the figure skating. Yuri on Ice, the movie Ice Adolescence, was originally announced back in 2017 of April. A special movie announcing it at a 2019 roadshow was released in July of 2018. In September 2019, the series announced a delay from the opening. A statement came out in November 2020 about the production of the film, with a teaser trailer saying it was still in production, and nothing has been heard until April 2024, when it was actually canceled. And if you are interested, this anime is available on Crunchyroll, and the description of the anime goes like this: big dreams, shared passion, on the ice, they call it love. After suffering a humiliating loss at the Grand Prix final, Japan's #1 skater Yuri Katsuki is ready to hang up his skates for good. Taking time off from competition, he reevaluates himself and his passion, only to return home with no medals, zero confidence, and no reason to return to the ice. That is, until Victor. Oh. Curiosity. All right. So now that that's covered, and since we are talking Pride, Mako-chan's gonna tell us about Revolutionary Girl Utena, which is like one of the big queer animes out there. So
Yeah, so it was announced that the anime film Adolescence of Utena, which was released in 1999 and reimagines the story of revolutionary girl Utena in bold, surreal ways, is going to be released in North American theaters for 2 nights, June 21st and 22nd, in Japanese with English subtitles. Adolescence of Utena transforms the already mysterious Otori Academy into an even stranger place, with floating architecture and dreamlike cutaways. Like the series, it follows the princely Utena Tenjo as she duels the members of Otori's student council for the hand of Rose Bride Anthe, and by extension, the power to revolutionize the world. But the film departs from the series in a variety of unpredictable ways, from reimagined characterizations to a very literal high octane final. Uh, yeah, so I think it's kind of cool that they're bringing it to theaters. I think it's kind of cool that it's happening in June for Pride.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely say look to your local theaters, see if it will be playing. Again, June 21st and 22nd.
I might have to take this opportunity to actually watch the series because every time I try to watch it, something happens. I may have to throw that on my list, so I may have to make room. Not that it's a bad thing either. And now we got that out the way. We're going to get into our last story of the night before we get into Meanwhile in Japan. You know, the part of the show y'all you're really kind of like to stick around for. It seems that a seiyu, better another term for Japanese voice actor or voice actress, a seiyu is suing TikTok over generative AI use of his voice. And so the chips are starting to fall. I like that. So it seems that Kenjiro Tusada filed a lawsuit against the operator of basically filed a lawsuit against TikTok for posting videos that allegedly uses AI to imitate his voice without permission and demanded the removal of the videos. Suda filed the lawsuit in Tokyo District Court of November of last year, with 3 closed-door pretrial proceedings held so far. These proceedings are held to discuss and clarify the points at issue and the legal basis of the parties' claims. The first oral argument of the case is expected to take place this summer. According to the lawsuit, an identified individual owns the TikTok account that posts videos which include narrated urban legends and trivia. The account posted at least 188 videos between July 2024 and when the lawsuit was filed. According to the information released by the poster on another site, the revenue from these videos is estimated between 500,000 and 750,000 yen a month, which is about $3,200 to $4,400 a month. Suda's team, the plaintiff, argues that the video feature narration created using AI imitating Suda's characteristic smooth, low-pitched, and deep husky voice. They claim that the videos are misleading viewers into believing that the narration is his voice, which is causing people to be attracted to them. Suda's camp seeks the removal of the videos based on the Unfair Competition Prevention Act and the right of publicity, which is the right to protect the image of public figures such as celebrities and entertainers. TikTok, the defendant, argues that the voice used in the narration is a universal male voice created by training an AI to generate a friend's voice, which was clearly stated on the poster's external site. TikTok claims that there was no confusion and therefore no violation of the law. They also deny any infringement of publicity rights, arguing that most of the comments on the videos were opinions and reactions regarding to the content, and the viewers were not drawn in by the voice of the narration. Suda's lawyer Ken Hirano stated in an interview by the Yomiuri Shimbun that if unauthorized production is left unchecked, it could hinder the development of the voice acting industry. Hirano added that they hope to clarify the scope of the illegality and encourage voice actors to exercise their rights by winning the case. TikTok's Japanese subsidiary stated that it is responding appropriately to the lawsuit and will refrain from giving further comments. Suda is known for voicing popular characters such as Kento Nanami in Jujutsu Kaisen, Seto Kaiba in Yu-Gi-Oh!, and Tots in Way of the Household, Sadaharu Inui in The Prince of Tennis, and Hayakinosuke Ogata in Golden Kamui. And this reminds me of something that I saw recently. I follow a page, a Sailor Venus Minako page called Mina AI. Basically, it's an AI generated page, and there are videos of this of Minako Aino talking and so forth. There was a video that came up before saying that the creator is changing her voice because evidently her voice was trained on the dub actresses for Sailor Venus Minako Aino, and you can kind of hear it. But he basically said that he decided to change it because he didn't realize it would be that much of an impact and people thinking it's one of them doing the voice and taking away. So he completely changed it. And I'm glad he did that. And I'm glad that person did that. So I get where they're coming from saying it's a generic male voice, but sometimes there are some generic voices that sound like somebody else because it was trained on somebody else's voice. hopefully this will go in Suda's favor. And now that we got
It
that,
would be nice if we could see something actually going right for the VAs.
you know what I say? If they're making this, if you're doing these types of videos with AI voices and they're trained on various voices, if it can be proven that this person's voice was used to train the AI voice for these videos, that person should be getting a collection of those royalties right off the bat. This person's been in the industry for, I'm just saying, 20 plus years, and you're using his skills to train a voice for your. Now, give that man his yen. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, now we're at the part of the show that y'all like to stick around for. It's called Meanwhile in Japan. All right, Mako, you get first dibs.
I want the last one.
Let me take a double check at that. And of course, you want the last one. God. There we go. Yep, I just linked my friend to the proper thing about Japan. And I told her it's slightly out of date. So, which reminds me, I think I'll talk about that towards the end of the show. So anyway, I will take the second story, which is kind of cool. I'm curious. I'm curious about that. And I kind of like the logo because it's very reminiscent of 7-Eleven's logo in a way. I mean, it's just the colors that is. So, and what am I talking about exactly? I'm talking about Lawson. And if you know, Lawson is a chain of convenience stores in Japan, better known as konbinis. Same thing with 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Daily Yamazaki, New Days. Now, except that New Days actually open and closes. So, and I just realized in Akihabara where we're staying, there's a 7-Eleven, a Lawson's, a Family Mart, and a New Days. I think they're all within like 5 to 10 minutes walking of each other. Oh man. So it seems at Lawson they're launching a mini supermarket chain called L Mini Mart. And as I mentioned before, well, I didn't mention this part, but Lawson's is one of the big 3 convenience stores. The other 2 are 7-Eleven and Family Mart. But Lawson itself has multiple sub-brands. There's the budget Lawson Store 100, which is basically like a dollar store, which is cool. Now, and they also have Lawson Natural, where you can buy natural products and stuff, which is cool. So on May 28th, they're opening the L Mini Mart in Tokyo's Kodaira's district. The L Mini Mart says its mission is to be a mini supermarket, which sounds a bit like a contradiction. But Lawson believes there's room for a new type of store in between convenience stores and supermarkets, which is true. Okay, now, most of y'all can kind of understand this. You have the supermarket, which is Aldi's, Stop and Shop, Kroger's, and so forth. You have the corner store, the bodegas. You have the convenience stores like 7-Eleven, Wawa, Quick Check, Sheetz, and Royal Farms. For some of us in New York, we have, I like to call them mini supermarkets. To me, they're not real supermarkets. They're just compact supermarkets in a reconditioned store that used to be a Rite Aid or a CVS or a Walgreens. And you see them as Pioneer, Associated, Food Universe, those types of places. They're just, I consider them mini supermarkets. Some stuff is reasonably priced, but sometimes you're better off going to the supermarket for a better deal. And as Bonzo06 says, fine fare. That's another example. So, the first branch of the new El Minimart chain is a 10-minute walk from the south exit of the Kodaira station, and on opening day was scheduled to start welcoming shoppers at noon. And according to the article, the people who wrote this showed up early, and there were staff busy taking care of final prep and everything just to make it really good. And there is a long line of people checking it out. At least 70 people are online to check out the grand opening. And by the time the store opened, there was about 200 people waiting to get in. Wow. But once people started going into the stores, the line moved briskly, and it only took about 10 minutes to get from outside to inside. Outside the store were produce stands stocked with melons and kiwis. And yes, it is true. Fruit is more expensive in Japan than it is here. But given the conversion rate, I think it's about on par to what you would pay at the corner grocery store anyway. And there are more fruits and vegetables inside. I didn't eat as much fruits and vegetables in Japan, but I think I'm going to try to be more conscious of that. Hold up. A bag of bananas for 98 yen? That's like 60 cents. That's a bargain. Shit. There are yellow signs all over for low price items. Some were special discounts as part of the store opening sale. Like I mentioned, the bananas that were 98 yen, which converts to 65 cents. And there were everyday low prices like tofu for like 49 yen a pack. You can't go wrong with that. The meat section was far more expansive than anything you find at a regular convenience store. But El Minimart hasn't forgotten its roots, as it has a very large selection of bento box lunches, sandwiches, salads, ready-to-eat noodles, rice balls, everything. I mean, I see meat here going for like 298 yen, I guess, per 300 grams. That converts to about maybe a little bit over $2. Can't beat that. The bento comes in two price tiers, $4.99 and $3.99 yen. But there is an exception. El Minimart has a karage nori ben, which is a fried chicken and seaweed bento that costs $2.98 yen, which converts to $1.95. Oh my god. The onigiri is incredibly affordable. Seaweed wrapped ones were 129 yen, and non-seaweed ones were less. Ooh. I'm looking at it, it's like non-seaweed wrapped onigiri is 89 yen and 99 yen. That's wow. 5 kilogram bags of rice, which translates to 11-pound bags of rice. 2,680 yen. That's about, I'd say about $20. That's not bad, you know. El Minimart also has sweets as well as packaged cookies and cakes. And there's a self-serve section for Japanese desserts for like daifuku, mochi, and dumplings for 100 yen a piece. El Minimart has packs of frozen meat, which is not always so easy to find in Japan, even in supermarkets, and the way they're designed is perfect for meal prepping. And I think this is kind of cool. There is a place for everything, you know? El Minimart takes another page from the supermarket playbook with rotating discounts for certain items, and there's a calendar posted in the store showing up the upcoming blocks of 10% off days for eggs, natto, kimchi, and sandwich bread. And given the huge crowd that El Minimart attracted on its first days, it shows that there's potential for a class of store in between convenience stores and supermarkets. Even though El Minimart's hours sort of split the difference between the two, since it's open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., which I think is kind of great. You roll in at 7 a.m. for a couple of bento boxes for lunch, and then if you're getting out of work late, you know, same thing. The Kodaira neighborhood is out in the suburbs of West Tokyo, but as major Japanese cities grow increasingly and densely populated, you might just see more stores like this that don't need a large physical footprint in order to offer a full range of both groceries and ready to eat foods. And like I said, these CVS and Walgreens and Rite Aid stores that are now mini supermarkets, if you go up and down them, you'll see they've packed so much merch and food items on the shelves. If you go a little bit too far, you'll blink and miss something. But there's something you can definitely find. So I definitely believe it's worth it. And as Bonzo 6 says, don't allow those praises to make you go crazy. Bro, let me tell you something. If I was doing what if I was doing the same job in Japan for the same rate, man, I would be cooking every single night. I'd be eating good like a king, just saying. All right?
Yeah, that would be an amazing thing.
I know. But given that it's basically almost 160 yen to the dollar, you can still eat good, going over there on a trip. Just saying. All right, Mako-chan, you perv.
Well, it's not what it looks like.
All right, tell them that.
So Osaka is hosting a hentai event.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's the Hentai Shokubutsu Club or the Hentai Plant Club.
Mm.
Yeah, this is not going to be involving tentacle-like appendages. Hentai translates to the process of metamorphosis or structural transformation. It refers to the fascinating way certain flora abandon typical plant architecture, morphing their leaves, roots, and stems into unorthodox shapes to survive.
Mm.
So this summer, we'll see a showcase of unusual yet absolutely gorgeous exotic plants. It's going to take place on July 4th to July 5th at Osaka Nako ATC Hall, which is a short walk from Trade Center May on the new tram line. The Hentai Shokubutsu Club brings a Japanese television show of the same name to life, curated by the celebrity plant explorer Keisuke Hase and Tokyo influencer Botanical Gorilla, and introduces 20 vendors who will be showing off some of nature's eccentric plants. A selection of transformations you can hope to see as well as buy at the venue are Platycerium. These plants feature leaf dimorphism, where they can grow two completely different types of leaves, one for trapping food and the other to catch the sun. Um,
Hmm.
Anthrorum, Anthurium, uh, with deceiving heart-shaped flowers that are actually leaves that have undergone metamorphosis to trick pollinators, whereas the actual flowers are microscopic bumps on the central spikes. Uh, Dichia is a bromeliad that reflects the rainforest lifestyle, transforming their leaves into water tanks to survive arid cliffs, lining them with vicious-looking thorns to keep thirsty animals away. Alongside the plants, you could even take home some quirky little collectibles like the adorable Mandroga figure crafted by Be the You. However, the activities don't just stop with the plants. At the Hentai Shokubutsu Club is actually a special exhibition within the larger Reptiles Fever 2026 event, which is the largest of Western Japan's reptile expos. So you can get discount advance tickets for 1,200 yen or $7.50.
Hmm.
Those are available online. You can also purchase entry at the door for 1,400 yen. Um, with how the plants have adapted for survival, they make for great additions to lush bioactive terrariums for many of the reptiles attending the festival. The venue will be packed with reptiles, amphibians, breeding gear, and a family friendly petting corner, making it the perfect weekend plan for anyone looking to experience the reptile keeping hobby. You can also find potential other items for uh, various little animals. They will be having a little petting zoo that will have hedgehogs as well. So yeah, get yourself some hentai plants and go play with some lizards. I love looking at these plants. I have a black thumb. I really, really have a very hard time keeping plants alive. Um, my mother, unfortunately, is just as bad. She's doing better since most of her plant life is now outside. So she's basically just dealing with, you know, trying to keep roots alive for root systems that are doing really, really well. But yeah, I inherited a black thumb, unfortunately.
Sounds like you and Steph Moon have something in common. But maybe you should grow those. What do you call those little plants? They just don't. You grow them, but they don't grow. They look all crystal-like and stuff like that. Can't.
Crystal like?
Not really crystal-like. They look fake, but they're not.
Uh, not sure what you're talking about.
Oh God, I can't remember the term. These are small little plants, and when you look at them, they kind of look wax and fake, but they're not. They're not germaniums. I don't know why I'm saying that, but that's what's coming to mind. But I know that's not it. It's a little. I I forget the name of them. These small little plants, and some people have them at their desk at work, and they look like they don't grow, but they do.
Mm,
As Bonzolo6 says, this sounds like it would fit in a Pink Pineapple Studio new IP pitch roundtable. Some will get it and some won't. Yeah, you must be thinking of Angel of Darkness. And am I thinking of air plants? No, not air plants. All I know is these are little potted plants, very small.
succulents?
Yes, succulents. That's what I'm looking for. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, you lost me with Jewel, but I kind of got where you were
Yeah,
coming
because there
from.
are some that kind of look like they're not jeweled, but like crystal like. But I'm not thinking crystal. They kind of look wax and fake, but they're not. Yep,
Yeah,
succulents.
I get what
Yeah.
you're talking about now.
All right. Now that we got that out the way, I think it's time to wrap up the show.
I am okay with that.
That makes two of us. And I'm slowly counting down when I could put the air conditioner in the window. I gotta talk to the other housemate, see if he wants to buy my old one off me, but we'll see. But at least with the way the weather is now, it's a lot more tolerable.
Yeah, this weekend is supposed to be in the 90s, so
Oof.
yeah.
Well, I guess I'm not doing that other thing, and I'll get into that in just a bit. So, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters, so what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up. If you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Please check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you'll find not just our weekly podcast, you'll find cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay interviews, convention reports, anime reviews, editorials, external links to our YouTube and Facebook pages of cosplay and convention coverage. All that and a lot more at animejamsession.com. And please subscribe to the podcast. If you're listening to us through our website, we really appreciate that. You can subscribe to us directly through Spotify from that link, or Apple Podcasts, whatever you use for downloading podcasts. Please subscribe and support the show. We really appreciate that. And social media. We're Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. So all of our fans out there that are supporting us, thank you so much. We really appreciate y'all. And our tip jar. If you're participating with us live, there are direct links down below where you will find our Stream Elements, our Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi, and I'm so glad Stream Elements is still around. You can also cheer us on with bits in the chat room, or you can sub to the channel and give out gift subs. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am looking forward to sleeping tonight, and then this weekend I'm going to have to look for more plants because the deer keep eating them.
My last words is, I accidentally double booked myself again. I was going to go to Ghostbusters Day, and I was going to go as Boo Busters Luigi, but I realized I can't do that. You know why? Pod Meets World. They have a documentary at the Tribeca Film Festival called Doc Meets World, and they're doing what they call the Kids Wanna Jump Tour, where they do a live Pod Meets World, and this is their very last one, and I'm not missing that. So I'll be at the Tribeca Film Festival for this, and I'll come to Ghostbusters Day next year. That, and I need a new Luigi patch. It kind of peeled when I washed it. I didn't think to pull it off. But anyhow, that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Ari will be here. I believe Barry will be here. Hopefully you'll be here too with us. So, I'm Ranma.
And I'm Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Perfect. Awesome. Say goodnight there, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. Awesome. We're getting out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!